Hello, 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 everyone. This is Melody. I'm here with you once again, once every 2 weeks. My colleague, my friend, my brother, John, joins me, and I hope he's somewhere because I can't find him anywhere. Uh, oh, okay, he's not available today, so you only have me, and I hope Nota can join me, but I know she's not anywhere near a device right now, which is very interesting. So I hope you have questions. I hope you have questions about money, and I will tell you why I wanted to talk about money because it was something we talked about with John last time, and we thought, okay, we need to talk about money. We talk about relationships all the time, and we don't. But money is part of being in a relationship, and there's a lot of stuff going on with money infidelity and all that. We are not talking about that today. We are going to talk about your money story. And why I wanted to talk about money, before I do that, I apologize again. John would usually keeps me on track, would tell me to introduce myself. In case you don't know me, and this is your first time on this channel ever, my name is Melody Chadamoyo. I reside in Ireland. I live in Ireland, but I was born in Zimbabwe and raised there. I came to Ireland as an adult, and I became a relationship coach because of the experiences I had with my husband. And I realized that I didn't have anyone to give me the advice that was actually going to help me to make my marriage happy, but also to grow it, not just to leave it, like lukewarm, but to make it exciting and happy and thrive. That's what I wanted. And no one could teach me that. So I taught myself all those skills, transformed my marriage from the brink of divorce to blissful connection. That's what I want to call it. And so I teach that now. I teach that to everyone who is willing to listen to me. I have written a book called Why Self-Love is the Key to True Love, because that's what I discovered. The more you love yourself, the more you're able to love and receive love from other people. So that's me in a nutshell. Now, going back to money. Why I wanted to talk about money is because my father once told me that a woman needs to have your own money. You shouldn't rely on anybody else. Because if you rely on that person, they might leave you, they might die, they might, anything can happen. When you have your own money, you control your own life. And that's very important. It's important to me. So I'm always saying to women, yes, it's great to find a provider, but maybe they should be providing other things and not money. Yeah, this will get me into trouble. But hey, what's fun? What's life without fun, right? So that's me. That's why I wanted to talk about money. So what is your money story? Money is one of those things that we have made so extremely important. But it was just, we made an agreement probably 200 years ago and said, okay, if you're buying something from me, we have money and we exchange it. Before that, we used to exchange things like God for two gods for a cow or something like that. We exchanged things that had what we assumed was similar value, and sometimes a person might say, no, that's not what I consider valuable, and so we started on this journey of agreeing that this is money and this is how we use it and everything, which was fine. Except then we stopped thinking about our connection to it and what it gives us. And what does money give us? It gives us power. It gives us a freedom. It gives us all those things that are usually not tangible, but very important to us. And because we get freedom from money, we tend to not think that money is just an agreement or it's just an energetic thing that we do. We tend to think that money is separate from our relationships because it's not part of our relationship. But it is, because I know so many people, the moment they start having money issues, the relationship dies, because it is the glue that keeps everything together. When you are stressed out, fully and totally stressed out, you find it is very difficult to be in a relationship. It takes a lot of work to be in a relationship where two of you are stressing out about money. It takes a lot of work. So it's important to start thinking about, how do we allow money into our lives? I say allow because it's a matter of allowing it. It's a matter of stopping to see and ask God, the universe, whoever rules your life, that I need to have more. I need to experience more life, more freedom, more money. And how does that happen? How do we and I'm saying this because I have also had situations where I've made a lot of money and sometimes I didn't make enough money and all that. And yet I found the more I focused on loving and caring about me and also valuing myself. When I do work for people now, I would look at, how do I value myself, how I charge, how I give my experience, my experience, my knowledge, my wisdom to people, and then they pay. And that's how they value me, right? And that's how I value myself. But you find in most cases, us, especially when I'm talking to us, the people of color, my beautiful, beautiful women of color, I've discovered that sometimes we don't value each other. We don't value the work that another Black person does. Oh, there is a comment. Oh, hi, Nelta. How are you? If you can go on live, that will help me a lot, because I need to have a conversation with you. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, talking about value and talking about the values that we give to each other and other people is also sometimes a reflection of how you value yourself. So do you find that when someone has done work, do you grumble and complain about paying them for their services? And which type of people do you grumble paying? And because money, you use it to get what you need, right? If you need electricity, you pay for it. Like now we are talking because we have power, we have computer, we have a phone or whatever, and all those things are paid for with money. And how do I value money? I value it in the way that I use it to help me and help my life be as comfortable as it can be. Now, if you sometimes go to places and there's some people you value and there's some people you don't value, then you start to see that starts to happen in your own life, where people sometimes value you and sometimes they don't value you. And you start complaining that people don't like you or whatever. But it's you who is bringing this energy to yourself, because everybody's valuable and your services are valuable too. So the first person who needs to value you is you. And also the best person who needs to value money is you. And I'm not saying money should be, or you should make it a priority in terms of it's more important than human beings. Right now, the world is so messed up because we are so desperate for money. We have stopped to use it as a tool, as something that helps us to get what we need. Oh, hi, Mary Wankui. Hello, how are you? So great for joining me. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your surname, Wangui. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I don't, I apologize, because I'm from Zimbabwe and some names are not as familiar to me as they should be, which is which is my fault, not anyone else's fault. But anyway, so going back to our conversation, we were talking about valuing money and how important it is to value yourself first before you value money, because money is a tool and we're only here to use it and to help us live the life we want to live. That's what we use money for. Any other reason is not decent as far as I'm concerned. And it makes our lives oh God, I'm sorry about this. I'm trying to do two things at once and it's not working for me. So sorry. Okay, give me a second, please. Please. My thing is gone. Okay. The other thing that we need to think about is that there are times when we think that we know ourselves when we really don't know ourselves. And it's important to take the time to get to know yourself and to get to understand yourself. Because when you understand yourself, that's when you do amazing work. And that's when you my computer is frozen, which is not cool at all. Okay, good. Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. So sorry about that. My computer was frozen and I couldn't see anything, even though maybe you could see me, but I couldn't see you. And I couldn't talk to you either because I couldn't see anything. Anyway, I'm back now. And I think Nelta is going to join us very soon so we can have a conversation, because talking to yourself is not fun at all. At all. And John has done it again. He is not here. He's gone somewhere. He's gone at work. He's gone to work. And, we have to also value the fact that he's working for his life. Oh, I pronounced your name perfectly. Thank you so much. I like that. I always try anyway. If I fail, that's okay. And if I try and one day I'll get it and I'll get better and good at it, right? If you have any questions, Mary, that would be great. It will help us to actually have a conversation. It's good to have a conversation than me just talking to myself, because what's the point? It's not what I want to talk about that's important. It's what you want to hear that's important. And so while we are waiting for Nelta, there are many times when I have good notice here. So, hi, Mel.
Hi, Melody.
How are you?
Good. I thought John would be around.
Yeah, me too. He literally, like, as I was going live, he sent a message and said, "I'm not available. I'm so sorry." So yeah, and that threw me off because he's the one who had the questions. So anyway. So you're on the hot seat.
That's okay. Yeah. So we're talking money.
Yay!
Yeah. So anyway, I was listening to you. So keep going.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have a question?
No, I just wanted to say, for me, my understanding of money is money, like everything. Everything is energy. So money is energy. Yeah. So like what you were saying, that how you value people is how people value you. So like money will come that way. But then everyone is going to be asking, then how come some very bad people have a lot of money?
Because they don't believe they're bad. them, they're good. we are the ones who are judging their badness, right? They think they're great, they're wonderful people, and as a result, they still get, because it's how you perceive it. It's your perception that is important. But I wanted to talk about it in terms of, yes, it's energy. Yes, it's important in terms of energy, but how you interact with it in terms of how do you plan to make money? For example, a lot of us tend to pray a lot, which is great. Pray, it's so important. But bless you. But then we don't do anything afterwards. We get inspiration. We get, like, you might be asked to go and do something, like maybe write a book, or maybe buy a bushel of tomatoes or mangoes or whatever and start selling them. Right? You get inspired to do something, and then you get afraid and you don't do it. And you get inspired to do something else. You get afraid. You don't do it. And then you look back and you say, why is God not blessing me? God is blessing you by giving you ideas, but you are not listening. So the reason why I wanted to talk about money is because money is so connected to how you are showing up in the world. And I wanted to talk to women about money because we have been trained by patriarchy, by the world, that we have to wait for men to provide us with money. And that's a very warped, and I'm not even talking about it in a feminist kind of ideal world. I'm talking about it in a practical ideal world. That's a very warped way of approaching life. Because as every grown-up should be able to do certain things. You should be able to feed yourself. You should be able to clothe yourself. You should be able to find shelter, because those are basic needs. If you are not able to do those things, those three things for yourself, you are not an adult yet. Doesn't matter how old you are, because the world expects you to do that. And you will feel confident when you provide such things for yourself. Now, if you wait, and there's a lot of talk on social media to find the rich guys who have got the millions so that they can give you money to buy a car, to do whatever, to do whatever. While it's good to a certain extent, it's also not good for you, because you as a human being were created to show up in a certain way in the world. There's a purpose for you to be here. So if you're waiting for someone to come give you handouts, when are you going to show up? How are you going to show up? Who are you going to become or to be? Because that's the listening to messages that are coming from God, from the universe, or whoever you call, right? Who is higher than you. How are you going to pay service or tribute to them, if you are listening or waiting for someone who is getting their own messages to come give you your livelihood?
And also, how are you showing up for other people? Because, like, we're all connected to each other, and every one of us has to take a step to something and action to do something. So it's equally important that you also actively participate in your life so that you show up for other people.
Yeah. Because people will see you doing your thing. Like you and I are talking right now. I'm literally having fun. I'm playing because I love to do this. If you are benefiting from this, I am so grateful, because that's important. You should benefit from spending your time with me. But I am not particularly doing it for the grace of you. I'm doing it for the grace of God, who is talking to me, through me to you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That's why. And it's never about a million people, is it? It's about that one person that gets to get something positive coming from you to them, even if you don't know it.
Yes. Yeah. So your money story you should aim to change it. If your story is, I struggle all the time, or I'm waiting to find a rich guy who's going to provide for me, or I have a rich guy who's not giving me what I need, or whatever, whatever that story is. You need to start looking at it from the point of view of, I want to love myself enough to give myself what I need with the grace that everybody has been given. And start giving yourself that. And I want to be a champion. If you need help like this, I will give you for free. I will listen to you talk, and you can say, Melody, I have this idea, and I will listen and I'll say, yes, go ahead. Maybe you just need that one person to tell you, actually, that makes sense. Go ahead and do it. And I will say this, there are sometimes when you start something and it makes sense initially, and then it stops making sense when you've maybe walked 5-10 steps, right? You're still allowed to change your path and say, okay, this is not making sense to me anymore.
But you and I have even done this, whereby we've done things and they are exciting and they are promising, and then you get a point not only about it's not making sense, or this thing is way ahead of its time. Like, this can't be done now because there isn't enough to resource it to get it to where it needs to get to. And then you park it. But the most important thing is what you learn along the way, because everything you learn is yours to own and to keep and to use and to apply in all other aspects of your life.
Yes. And most of the time we don't talk about money enough in our cultures, in our Black people cultures, because we it's always evil, or it's always, there's always some negative thing associated with money. Money is neither good or bad. It's what you do with it that can be good or bad. And what you do with it is a choice. You can choose to do amazing things with money. You can also choose to do terrible things with money. But we don't talk about money because we are, as Black people, terrified of it. Because it is not money, or the love for money that other people have shown us has not done good for us in our lives.
Is it the love of money or the love of things money provides? Like, money allows, well, I suppose I should put it in a different way, in this sense that money, to me, exposes more of who a person is. Money on its own does nothing. It's like, if a person is poor, we tend not to notice their evil more than richer people. So should we blame it on money, or should we just say money is like the mirror that shows us, or the expose?
It is the mirror but it's more about the power, because the problem is when a person has got money, they also immediately have power too, and we give them that power. We say, we have seen people who are supposedly rich doing bad things, and we don't call them on it because we are afraid that they've got too much money. They have the power to do something to you, even though they might not. Even though maybe calling them on it will help not just you, but other people too.
So it's like we dim our own power when we are faced with money. When we're faced with people with money, we dim our light, and we relinquish power to money, because it's not to the person, it's to the money. So it's the money we are giving power, not the person. Because take money away from them, and you have given them all your power.
Yes. And I know women who are desperate. They are desperately lonely. They are desperately unhappy in their marriages. But because the husband they have is got more money than them, they are afraid to leave because they want the lifestyle. You and I have had this conversation before, actually. When we know certain people who would rather have the lifestyle than have a life. And the lifestyle is magical, but your soul is dying in the process. It makes your money story really, really, really sad, in my opinion.
And I want to ask you something. When you said people need to do this, that's not an easy thing to do, to change mindset. Do you have any, especially in relation to money, And do you have any exercise, something small a person can do maybe once a day to just try and change their money story?
I'm also on a money learning journey. So what I do is I listen to people who talk about money. Like there are a lot of people who talk about money, changing your money mindset. And changing money mindset to me means getting the yucky and learning the yucky stuff that we learned, that money doesn't grow on trees, or you think you want to show off because you've got money, or whatever, or you are evil because you become evil, or that one, a rich man can't go through a needle, whatever it's called.
The eye of the
needle. Yes, yeah. We teach each other that, right? So we now have a story. So when I want something, but I also feel that if I get it, I will become all these things that I don't like. I will stop myself from getting the money in every way I can. So what I'm doing at the moment is I am just telling myself, money is great. I love it. I love money. It's a very good tool. Reminding myself regularly that it's a tool. It's a tool. It's a tool. It's a tool. It's like a shovel. Or a phone, right? A mobile phone or a pen. Yeah, mobile phones are now being blamed for being evil as well. They've destroyed so many marriages. But it's not the mobile phone. It's the human being behind the phone.
How you use the tool.
Yes.
You can equally injure yourself with a hammer.
Yes, you can. But if you don't know, if you don't teach yourself how to use it properly, yeah, you can.
We haven't stopped using hammers.
Not yet.
Because we understand our relationship with the hammer.
Yes. So I think my advice is, please take it if you want to, is to learn to understand how to use money in a way that's healthy, in a way that is fulfilling, in a way that suits you. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you have any ideas, Nota, because.
Well, as an energy healer, I have a plethora of things that I could tell people, but that's a whole other space altogether. But
you can tell us at least one that's easy and simple.
Yeah, but what I was going to say is, you see, we are human beings on earth having a spirit experience, and we're also spirits having a human experience. So we need to find a way to balance so that our human being and our spirit being both get to have the other's experience, because they feed off each other. And it's like for those of us who have done science, we understand you need a pH balance. So it's like you need your pH balance between those two. So I'll say you need to talk to your spirit. Ask for help, because it knows how to get money the way that works for you. Hey, some people are people who love action, right? So if you were to give them, say, tomatoes to go and sell at the market, they would actively stand and say, tomatoes, whatever, tell a story, pull people to them, and they'll sell them. Some of us will be sitting there thinking, I hope someone passes by and buy, because that's not who we are. So you need to find ways to make money that fits your personality, who you are, that feeds your being, because you need to eat, and your spirit will feed into that to thrive. Because it's knowing yourself that helps you make money. But essentially, it's like when you're sitting there, Melody was talking about praying. Be aware that you're not just praying from your body, you're just praying from with your body and your soul in this prayer. And the things that I always say to do, if you listen to Melody's previous recording, she say, let us take a deep breath in, and you say, and then when you breathe out as if you are whistling, and say, so your out breath has to be longer than your in breath. If you do that 3 times, and then just sit and say, help me find how I can get money. Teach me how to spend money. can even tap the chest there and say, I'm open to learning about money. I'm open to receive money. And don't judge those that people for how they make their living. If how they do it does not you, that is their problem. If it bothers you, it's a you problem. You need to look at why it bothers you. That. So we can do even standing up if you find you are lost in this to figure out things.
Oh, we're breaking up. The Wi-Fi is running out. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So if you find you're lost, sometimes the simplest thing is to get up and dance to a silly song. One of the songs that I normally play if I'm feeling like things are getting on top of me, my bills are not paying, is there's a song called Pineapple Jam. Pineapple Jam. It was a hit in Zimbabwe when I was growing up. It makes no sense. It got to number one. That's the point, because everyone was ready for that song. So you need to find something like that that just helps you to just laugh, but to connect and to ground yourself, because essentially when you can come back to yourself, it's easier. Then you stop seeing how everyone else's life seems to be easy, because usually we start noticing people when things start working for them. We don't notice the struggle or the journey they traveled to get to that place where now they know what they're about.
Yeah.
And how to keep it.
Or you can just
money.
Yes. Yeah. You ask for help. Asking for help is so important. And you can just say, I am self-love. That's another one that I learned recently. Saying I am self-love is literally connecting to the love part of you. Yeah. Literally. So, and you can say it as many times as you want and just say, I am self-love. I am self-love. That is when you start feeling spiraling out of control because you're afraid or, you don't know what's going on. And our dad used to say, a woman needs to have your own money. And I totally believe it so much that's what I've taught my girls. That's what I teach everybody, that you need to have your own money. Because when you have your own money, you have freedom. When you have freedom, you have possibilities, because now you can control how you can live your life. And if you have any opportunity at all, if you are listening to this right now, you have opportunity. You have access to technology, to Wi-Fi, to whatever, to actually have possibilities in your life. Use those possibilities for the good of. We need you. The world needs you right now. Needs what you know. The world needs what
and
you
your
know.
Abilities.
Yes, to change, to transform, because it could be something small that is going to topple everything, and then we'll find ourselves in another place, in another time, doing other things. Because even the people who made Zoom or who made StreamYard or who made whatever they made, right? They did not know that it was going to be like this. They didn't. They had an idea, worked on it.
Then COVID happened.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden we are all talking online, and it got so much bigger than they could have realized. And sometimes that's what happens in life. So don't overlook or dismiss that little thing that says yes, or overthink, and that little inspiration that says, I need to do this, I want to do this. It's like, do this. That's whatever this is that you are being compelled to say. Recently, I've been having this book in my head that keeps popping up. I haven't started writing it yet, but it's talking to me. And there's going to be a point when I will say, okay, fine, I hear you. I better start typing, or I better start writing. And I know every human being gets that. And ladies and gentlemen who are listening right now, we need to change our money story. Because when we change our money story, you will notice the freedom you start having in your life. For the people around you, because they will see possibility. They will look at you and think, if she can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
If she can have this, go ahead.
Can I ask you some of the stories people them tell themselves about money? Because like if I need to like roll it back to the simplest place to identify your money story.
Some of the stories are I was born poor. And so, my grandparents, my great grandparents, and now I am poor and I'll always be poor. Some of the stories are I don't know what to do. Like there's someone who has been given a map of how to, or a formula of how to make money, and they just know how to make money. Most people get money by accident. That's the thing I want to say. Most people who got rich did not get rich because they were set out to get rich. Some did, but most people didn't. They set out to solve a problem that was probably bugging them. Like I did. I set out to fix my marriage. That's what I started doing. And then once my marriage was fixed, other people started saying, how did you do that? And I said, oh yeah, I did this, I did that, I did this. And then all of a sudden, people want to buy what I'm selling, right? So it's the same thing. People don't set out to get rich. They set out to solve a problem. And that's how you change your story. You can't. I have had too many stories where people say Black people are poor. We were never poor. We are not poor. But we embrace the poverty. We tend to identify with it. I'm not saying there aren't disadvantages, there aren't situations that make us maybe be a disadvantage, but we also really embrace that. We identify with it. We take it on. If a person comes and calls you a dog right now, it won't matter if you don't see yourself as a dog. But if you think there's a part of you that might be, a dog that you might not know about, you take it in and you personalize it and you get very, very upset, right? I'm always saying it about men and women, actually. If you go to a man right now and you say you are a sissy or you're a woman, men get really offended. They get really upset. When you say that to a woman, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I'm a sissy, whatever.
So what? Yeah. So it's that mindset that we want to shift. And it's that thinking that when a person tells you that you are this, you also agree with them and say, yes, I'm that. Don't agree with it. Why do you agree with it?
If that's not what you are.
Yeah. What's in your heart? Who are you in your heart?
And I want to add on to that and say, the first time I discovered that the Eye of the Needle is actually a place in Israel, I was so pissed off. Because
stop talking right now.
And actually camels do go through that, and so do people. I got so pissed off because I used to think it was a metaphor. I didn't realize it was actually it's a real place that actually exists.
At least you thought it was a metaphor. I actually imagined the real needle. You see, we were sitting side by side when we were being told that story. We thought it was a metaphor. I actually imagined someone trying to go through a needle and like how I struggle to even put threads through it, right? And it's like sometimes we need
to go through there.
Exactly. Context of things is so important.
It's the same as the other saying, by hook or by crook. There are places in Ireland you get in by hook or by crook.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, isn't it? It's like when you discover that some of these things, and those places were used by people who wanted to find a back door into the place. And you either go in by hook or by crook. Yeah. And it's amazing that when you simplify some of these things, when you stop seeing words as bigger than they are, but that they are just sounds that we've given meaning to, that your money story can change the same way. I gave meaning to these words in my life. I just need to make them into noise and find a new story, new things to give meaning into my life. Yeah. And just say, I'm rich. Because if you can breathe, if you can think, if you can take action, because it doesn't matter whether you are how you're moving, whether you're walking because you have two legs or you're walking because you're using an aid or someone is helping you to walk. The fact that you are ready to participate in that space, or even where you're sitting, you're taking action from there, means anything can change for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And the
So
other thing, the other story as well, like adding on to what Melody was saying about money, is a lot of people think women can't make money as fast as men can by themselves. That's why we need
yeah,
men.
yeah, yeah. And actually, what we need, what I need, people, if you're watching on the replay, one of the things we need to understand is when you are in love with someone and the two of you come together and your love is real, you are so capable of so much more, of want to create more money, but also to make changes. Because when you truly are in love with who you are and what you're capable of doing, possibilities of ideas start flowing inside you, and you start seeing what's possible. And if you start going after it and doing it, and you've got that person who loves you, championing you, supporting you, encouraging you, you can transform not just the world, you can transform from your village all the way to whatever. The other story people tell us each other is we can't allow that person to grow because they will show us up for not being good enough. That's a very dangerous story.
Oh, I can't help this person to get rich because why should I? There isn't enough for everybody.
They will show off, yeah, or they'll show off to me. Oh yes, there is not enough money. If they are rich, then they will start looking down on me.
They'll take over my customers. Some people say.
Oh
I
yeah.
actually remember when I did a business course, and my business coach was saying, "So how much, like your market, like your target market, how big is it?" And I said, "Oh, 100%." And he said, "Are you?" And he was like, "Are you kidding? Nobody gets 100% market." And I said, "Why not?" And said, "Okay, let's give one example. How many car company varieties are there in the world? Okay, let's just talk 7. So you're talking Toyota, Mercedes, Nissan, Ben, what do you call it?
Volvo.
Whatever. The rest of them, Volvo.
Ford.
We're just saying 7, right?" So every one of those companies,
Tesla, my favorite,
makes cars.
Hmm.
And if you say 100% market, it means every single person. So Ireland has a population of 5 million, including kids. So let's just say 100% market, which means 5 million people, every one person in the country has got a Toyota. That's what it means when you have 100% market. And I said, "Oh, that's not possible because some people don't like Toyotas." I said, "Yeah, now you get it. You can't start by saying my target market is 100%. It's 1% or 0 point something because of the where you're starting, and there's already existing competition. It doesn't matter what they do, but that's what people have been using before you were there. A lot of people won't shift where they are unless they're forced to shift, or by the time they're forced to shift, something else is coming and you will have to compete with that. Or someone else is there and watching anything. They did that. Like, for example, Zoom started, right? And was it Zoom that started, or was it?
Well, there was
What
Skype,
was the other one?
then there was Zoom,
Before,
and then there was StreamYard. Yeah.
No, for online, Zoom was not even going online. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't StreamYard. It was something else that I have forgotten.
Okay. I don't know.
No, I'm saying like to live stream. It was working to live stream on Facebook.
Okay. I can't remember now.
Melody.
It's so long
Yeah,
ago.
to live stream Facebook anyway. And then other people realized that, you can do that. What did Facebook do? Facebook went and created their live stream, but then they realized that you can other people this one invites people in, and then they created theirs so you can invite another person. So that you don't use a streamer, but it's like everyone in bringing something to push other people to do better. So when you do your thing, it does the same thing.
Competition. You said competition. I wanted to end.
The one who's gone, or it's Melody who's gone. Our Wi-Fi is misbehaving now.
Yeah, it's misbehaving now. Anyway, I wanted to talk about competition as a last.
What I wanted to say is, so don't be afraid of competition.
Yeah, competition is great because it makes things better. It makes services better. It makes everything better because people will want to do better to get more customers. And it's good for the customers and it's good for everyone as well. Because like right now, we are always talking about the environment. When you start making things that are good for the environment, that is amazing. Anyway, Nelta and I have got bad Wi-Fi now. So we want to say thank you so much for listening to us and for your collaboration. And Mary Wangui, we are so happy you were here. And everyone else who was there who did not comment, but you were watching. We appreciate you so much. And we appreciate John. We missed you. And hopefully you'll be able to join us next time.
And John,
but for now.
And John joined.
Is he here? I can't hear what Nelta is saying. Oh. But anyway.
No, I said John is watching, so he's somewhere.
Okay. Oh, John is watching. Great. Thank you, John, for watching, and everyone else for watching. We really appreciate you. And Nelta, thank you for joining me. You made this conversation way better than it was when I was alone. I'm sure everyone can testify to that. And we will see you again in 2 weeks. We really appreciate you. Bye for now. And share with everyone you know who might need to hear this information. And if you need any help at all, I will put my calendar in the comments so that you can book a free appointment with me. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.